I think that by this point, we all know how powerful it can be to properly industrialize in Victoria 3 and how easily it is to exploit the world's resources to your advantage in becoming an absolute powerhouse. But what about staying as an isolated nation until the end of the game? Is that even feasible? And if so, how would it even work? Well, today we're gonna answer that question as we will be continuing our Japanese saga, and we will stay isolationist. That doesn't prevent us from expanding militarily though, so keep that in mind because that's gonna play a little bit of a part in this particular campaign. Now, to keep up to date with what happened, you have the link to the first part in the description below, but if you don't want to watch that or if you've already seen it and you need a recap, this is what our politics look a little bit like. We got isolationist, of course, traditionalism, land-based taxation, serfdom, and we're in the process of changing from serfdom, hopefully to tenant farmers, and then later down the line to homesteading, or anything else really is just better than freaking serfdom, let's face it. We also have legal guardianship, so we need to change that a little bit down. We want to go for women's suffrage. We also want to go from autocracy to maybe census suffrage or universal voting. It depends. We will stay as a monarchy, however, unless we seize an opportunity to go down a different path, maybe. We were able to appoint bureaucrats, which fixed a massive taxation issue that we had earlier in the campaign. And we do have professional army, secret police, dedicated police force, and charity hospitals. No schools yet, but we do have some support for schools, so we're going to prioritize this after we change serfdom. Industrially speaking, we have most of our basic industries set up, but we don't have that many of them. We need to boost up the amount of basic resources we're doing here. Our standard of living is fairly low for the lower strata because, well, there's just 5.6 million people unemployed and the base costs are pretty high, so we need to deal with that. Of course, we're going to prioritize dealing with that. We've pretty much been ignoring our army, and we will still ignore it for the first part of this campaign until we actually get ready to expand outside of our sphere. The French are pretty massive in the west, as are the Brits, of course, so we're trying to get good relations with the Brits, and we will likely try and expand in South America for the resources that we need, and maybe even in the Indonesian and even Chinese bits. Manchuria seems to be pretty nice this time of the year, if you know what I'm saying, as does Joseon over here, which also has a significant amount of population. 19.9 million is juicy, boys. That's a lot of people that eventually will be incorporated in our isolationist run, if you know what I'm saying. Also, guys, if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. I'm trying to reach 200,000 subs, and in return, I promise I will only offer you quality content that you will enjoy, or else. No, seriously, you will enjoy it, or else. I'm just kidding, obviously. If it's fine if you don't want to subscribe, it's not like I'm gonna judge you silently in the background, except I will. Alright, so first off, let's check what exactly is a big issue for our lower strata here. The grain is pretty pricey. Well, it's not too expensive, 0.6% extra, but still. We have a lot of the basic stuff like fruits, for example, that are issues, groceries, and that's because we haven't really been focusing on building up our food industries too much. We only have, what, 6 food industries? Holy mother, I need to actually prioritize this, like now. Alright, let's get 2 of them out-click so we can get them up at the top of the queue in Kanto, where we're probably going to have the majority of our groceries. And since we need fruit also, let's make sure we are producing fruits, and let's build some more rice farms, I guess, around the country. That's always welcome, right? I'm gonna say I like round numbers, so let's get an extra 7 in here, 4 in there, and just essentially try to round up an average of 10 farms in every single state within our country. It should improve our situation considerably once we finish building all of those farms. And it does seem like tools are a little bit of an issue here, so let's queue up one tooling workshop. So the problem we have, or actually we can change the production method because I think some of these are still on the old. Yep, okay, let's change one of these to steel. That should be of a little bit of help. And let's also build a little bit more steel mills. It's not a priority, the steel mills now, so we're gonna queue one up later, not for the time being. Maybe just build an extra regular tooling workshop. Not in Kanto, we have 40 already there. We can go up to 50. Let's go up to 50 in Kanto. Screw it. We have the population for it. I went 51. Let me cancel one of those bad boys. We're also going to lower our taxation to the lowest possible so our people can, you know, stop paying so many taxes and be able to survive. Oh, what is this? Enactments is shit. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Oof. So we're down to 21% success chance and we're in the adoption phase. That is what it is, boys. Look at that. Our standard of living is already increasing 8.6 plus 1 standard of living from just lowering taxes a tiny bit and from building the stuff that we need, right? Let's check what exactly we have here as radicals. 3.5 million. Most of them are actually laborers. Yeah, I get why the laborers are pissed. I get it. If our laborers are pissed with us, we need to employ them, give them proper employment. 500,000 unemployed means laborers that were laid off, essentially. So that means that something along the chain is not functioning the way it's supposed to be functioning. And I highly think that it's got to have something to do with the factories that I've got. I don't have enough engines for my railways, and I started building way too many railways way too fast, I think. That's the thing. Whenever you have an isolated nation, you cannot rely on other nations to subsidize whatever goods you do not have. You need to have that particular good or it's basically game over, you know? All right, we got canneries. That's going to increase the output of groceries by a lot, but it's also going to increase the input of fish and iron. So that's good. We have a lot of iron. That's not an issue. We don't have too much fish though. Okay, we're going to need to build a few more fisheries, I think. Let's go up to 5 or up to 10 over in Kyushu, let's say. Oh, this is an issue. We need more tools for the iron production. So let's actually ramp up our tool production, boys. Let's go by an extra 9 queued up at the top of the queue. I actually didn't expect the tooling workshop issue to be that big of an issue. And we just got 10 farmers. Okay, how? Like literally how? I had like a 12% chance of that pulling through. The game is amazing sometimes. I love it. Now, hey, I promise I didn't reload 1,000 times to get the good outcome. I promise, okay? You can trust me. I'm Romanian. All right, now let's see what we're going to go for next year. Schools are great, as I was saying earlier, and the chances of getting, especially religious schools, pretty high. I would love to go for public schools, though. 12% assimilation and education access is a big deal. But then again, autocracy is pretty nasty. We also want to switch over towards census suffrage. I don't think we would be able to because we got 43% opposition for that. But there is a chance that landed voting might go through. So let's try and switch for landed voting. Fingers crossed it works. If it doesn't, we'll go for the school legislation afterwards. Oh, we're going up, boys. 9.8 standard of living. Let's go. All right, we need some more tooling workshops. Clearly, that was the main issue here. Let's get another 5 alt-clicked into Hoku. And look at that. Fixing our standard of living is also increasing the amount of loyalists that we got. We went up to 3 million from 2 million just 1 year ago, 2 years ago, right? Yeah, that's a big deal. Look at that, boys. I am loving to see the green in my country and not the red, right? Oh, look at that. Juicy? Not juicy. Not juicy at all. Oh, Hokkaido. Oh, I am not surprised or pissed. I have not built a single freaking thing in this area. I literally haven't built much at all. Let's queue up some logging camps. Logging camps are always welcome, right? There's no people to work. Wait, what? Hold on a second. Why do I not have population here? Let me check. Why are these people upset with me? Its standard of living is surprisingly good considering the rest of the country. 13.2. Now, what is pissing you people off though? All right, these guys are pissed because of animus is discriminated against. Oh, right. It's because of discrimination. Right. Okay. Well, there's not much I can do about that until we fix legislation. So we just got to wait for that a little bit, I guess. Oh, look at that. Chad 3% success chan, boys. That is just not gonna pass 100%. If that passes, I'm gonna stand on one leg and say schnabbadaboobs in the middle of my house. That's how confident I am it's not gonna pass, okay? All right, let's do another struggling check here. And let's go see what exactly is going. Still groceries. Groceries, luxury furniture, porcelain, and wine. Okay, these are the major issues. Yes, the same old. We need more of these. I queued up 8, but I think I'm gonna queue up more right after the tooling workshops. That is probably the best thing here to do. And we also went up to 13% success chance because of the Shogun's will and backing of this particular legislation. Now, hovering over Kansai, I'm getting the feeling that there's way too many unemployed people in Kansai in particular. How's the situation over in Kanto? Nobody. Okay, so we need to build more. And, Chubu and Kansai have a huge amount of unemployed people. Yeah, okay. Chubu's where most of our railways are being built. I mean, engines are being built. So let's Let's double down on that one, shall we? For that matter, let's double down on the paper mills, which we have not, we don't have that many of also. And we're back to 4%, obviously. Why would we ever get any sort of advantage without it being taken right afterwards from us? I've started lowering my relations with the nations in Southeast Asia because we will be attacking Dainam eventually, and we're gonna turn this into our very first colonial conquest, let's say. Hey, we're still isolationist, okay? We're not taking stuff for anybody. This will be directly ours. We're gonna directly conquer it, all right? Let's see the population in here. They got 8 million, but the most important thing though is that they have really important goods that we absolutely must get our hands on, such as, for example, opium plantations, banana plantations. Well, bananas are not as important, but the opium is, the dye plantations are, the silk is, of course, sugar as well, tea, and everything else that comes here is just absolutely important. We're lucky to, you know, have them at our doorsteps because, let's face it, nobody's gonna care about us invading Vietnam, and we will wait until the only nation that potentially will join on their side, which is Great Britain, is not, you know, until they're at war with somebody else. Russia and the French Empire could join, but they have bad relations with Vietnam, so I doubt that they will. Let's see though. There are so many agitators, man. I wish I could invite these over, but unfortunately we don't have any of their cultures as accepted, so we cannot invite them because of that. We need to be a little bit more progressive, if anything. Our freaking movement here is preserve autocracy. I mean, if that doesn't say old school, I don't know what does. And we went to 22% success chance on landed voting. Let's see. I've been making a lot of sacrifices, and I would love to see this legislation pass. Oh, we need more hardwood. Okay, let's change one of our factories so that it produces some hardwood here. One of our logging camps, that is. There you go. The one in Hokkaido. Well, that's probably not going to be enough, is it? Let's say the one in Kanto also. Should be enough now. We don't actually have that much wood, so we don't want to use too much for hardwood production. Let's see what's going on in the US here. We still have the Free States of America separate from the United States of America, and these guys are the Democratic Republic. How about these boys? They're just a republic. All right. How about the Indian Territory? They're still a puppet of the US. Yes, they are. They seem to have started colonizing a little bit better than before. The previous part of this campaign, they barely colonized any of these lands, and they lost a lot of stuff too. I don't know what happened here, but it's not their best run, is it? All right, we're definitely ramping up our production here. We are setting up 10 steel mills in Chubu because we have the extra unemployed population there we need to employ, and we've also built up quite a few of the farms. That's why we now have 10.6 standard of living average, meaning our lowest strata is doing a little bit better than before, and it's going to continue to improve. It's just like, you know, I'm not trying to appeal my lower strata as much as I'm trying to appeal the middle and upper strata. Hey, it is what it is, okay? It's good for my economy, and I mean, don't worry. We'll build more farms. We'll make sure they're happy. Don't worry. Let's check their situation now, actually. Let's go 9.6. And look at that. Grain is a little bit better. Groceries only 50%, not 75. Same goes for luxury furniture and stuff. All right, we're definitely on the right track. I just realized though that I haven't been building tea plantations, and that is apparently very expensive now. So let's build up a little bit of tea plantations too. Or I guess you don't build them, you set them up. How do you even call this? Oh damn, we got 43% success chance. What? Okay, that is actually very, very doable in that case. I mean, like, super doable in that case. Oh my god, that would be like the next step right there. I would love to see this pass. All right, we got adoption phase. Come on, boys. 160 days. Can we get this? Water tube boiler is also unlocked, which means we can now use the condensed engine pumps as our production method for our mines. So that's going to be a big deal. Look at that. Condensed engine pumps gives us way more coal, but it does mean it's going to use a lot more tools, which again is good because it improves our value for the tools. So it encourages us to also build more tools, and it offers more jobs in the tooling industry, right? It's just overall a good thing for the whole country. Essentially, with this particular game, guys, the better technology you get, the faster you switch to the new production method, the more money and more GDP you're gonna make. Oh, hello there. We got our first agitator. He wants to enact protectionism. Oh, and we got landed voting. That's awesome. That's actually awesome right there. Oof. Okay, now, oh, we got new parties. Agrarian Party, Imperial Party, Free Trade Party, and a lot of other parties. Let's see what we have here. They want to join the Free Trade Party. All right, then you're gonna go in the government if you want to join the Free Trade Party. That's an issue though, because if I let them in the government, I'm gonna lose all of my legitimacy. So I cannot let you in just yet. I'm gonna need to wait for the elections to happen and let the government handle itself, I guess. Let's go over to our legislation legislation in the meanwhile, protectionism would mean that we would not be an isolated nation anymore. So I'm not gonna let that agitator do what he wants to do, because, well, we have a specific theme for this video that we want to keep on to, right? Let's, however, try and go for public schools. If this passes, and it has a decent chance, 21%, it's gonna make a massive difference in our country. We're gonna be able to research stuff a lot faster also once we improve our education. Now, there is one production method here, the water tube boilers that we've unlocked. However, we're not gonna use it because the only thing this does is it lowers the amount of people employed, and we have so many unemployed people. Even though we could use this would actually not be beneficial for us because we need to employ these people. This is a technology we will use in the future once we have a ton of factories and we do not have enough people to man all those factories. So this way we can get more people to man those particular jobs by automating certain parts of the industry. And we got the elections. Looks like the Imperial Rule Party is, of course, is the one that's going to be ruling here. At least, you know, we got 70% legitimacy. It's not as bad as it could be, but we definitely need to bring these bad boys over here into the free trade party. That will lower our legitimacy considerably, sadly. So I think I'll hold out on this for a little while more. You know, most civilized people would be like, yo, let's go for that public school, everybody. Let's get the public school. But no, my people over here be like, preserve no schools. We want every day to be a Friday. Yeah, if you know what, this is clearly 90% of the radicals for no schools are kids, all right? I know what's going on here, kids. You're not having your way. You're not having it. Pretty funny to see this, but me trying to get some provinces here from Siam is triggering essentially a world war as the Austrians are joining on Siam's side, and of course I'm gonna get Russians on my side, and I don't know, everybody here is gonna come on my side. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, Europeans should wipe out other Europeans in order to help me get Siamese provinces, but hey, if it's happening, I'm not going to complain about it. I think bringing in Prussia too would be a little bit of an overkill, so I'll just let the Russians grind their troops against Austria for the time being. Backroom deals. Alright, well, oh, this sucks. But I mean, we have enough authority for now. Minus 237, we don't actually have enough authority. Alright, let's do this war. Now, we're going to be doing a few naval invasiones, as they say in Siam. I'm going to try and bait them with an invasion over in Bangkok, and whilst they're fighting that invasion, I'm gonna attack the other side of the country, right? That's how you do it, eh? Yep, that's right. This game is extremely easy to cheese with naval invasions. It is what it is still. Combat is not the forte of this particular game, but I still like it. I'm having a ton of fun playing it, so if you're having fun, that's what matters at the end of the day, right? Hey, we managed to get public schools. Hails to the boys. We're winning on our side, but sadly, the Russians are getting their asses handed to them by the Austrians out of all freaking nations. I mean, if this is not the most pepega of empires of the 19th century fighting each other and, you know, just throwing tomatoes at each other, I don't know what is then, you know what I'm saying? Luckily though, they have no war goals, so it's just a matter of waiting for them to peace out the Austrians, and that's it. All right, the last remnants of the Siamese are about to fall. We're pushing their armies straight into the southern bits, and please tell me that's not Austrians reinforcing. That is Austrians reinforcing. Okay, this is gonna be bad. Or not if they don't reach in time. I think, oh my god, they're not gonna reach in time. We are so gonna win this war, boys. Yep, look at that. Look at that. We won this battle also. Let's go. That's it. That's the entirety of Siam under our control now. Well, actually, no, they still have one little bit here, which we're gonna go through. Thank you very much. Come on. Oh, we enforced on Austria. Ooh la la, boys. Ah, yes, Russians. Destroy whatever this is. Champasakadak. Yep, apparently, we got 600 units on our side here now, so we got it in the bag, as they say in Siam. They say a lot of things in Siam, apparently. Ah, yes, the famous Russian Battle of Bangkok against Siamese troops in order to give the provinces to Japan. This totally happened in history, guys. Trust me. You know, I just realized if I set this over to medium taxation, I actually make profit, even though I'm at war. This guy looks a little bit chubby if you ask me. He's the commander-in-chief. Oh, he's the king. Oh, never mind. My bad. I didn't say nothing. My apologies, Thai people. I love you, king. You have a beautiful country, just saying. Very beautiful. And it's gonna be mine. At least half of it's gonna be mine soon. Now, I know what some of you thinking. Ludi, why did you not just puppet? You could have vassalized Siam. Yes, it would have been less infamy also. But another thing about this particular run is that I'm gonna have some restrictions. I'm not going to vassalize or puppet anybody because I feel like that's a little bit broken if you ask me, since it's less infamy and less penalties and so on. So the only way acceptable in this isolationist run for me to expand is gonna be to just directly conquer provinces, which makes it harder for me to stay isolationist and just get the resources that I need. So it is a restriction after all, right? All right, now we're gonna prioritize a lot of this sugar here because we need to change our food industries to baking powder, but that requires sugar. Right now we don't produce sugar anywhere except in the newly conquered provinces in Thailand, so that's why I'm prioritizing that. That's why I attacked this place in the first place, right? Place in the first place? That makes a lot of sense in my mind, I guess. Interventionalism is not bad as an economic system. A lot better than traditionalism if you ask me, and I think that we definitely need this. Of course, we shall be incorporating these provinces that we took from the CMEs. Pretty funny how, you know, in modern times, Thai people would love to go to Japan and immigrate and get jobs, but in my timeline, it's the other way around. We're getting the people to work for us from Thailand and Japan. Wait, no, it's the same thing, isn't it? I think it is, isn't it? I guess different measures of doing things, but the same outcome, right? Oh, of course the Thai are gonna try and secede from us. Why wouldn't they, right? Unfortunately for them, they got eight brigades and we got 100, so there's gonna be a slaughterhouse. Also, pretty good stuff that we now got dynamite, meaning we're gonna get even more resources mined out of our various mines, and it also increases the price of explosives, which means it's a good idea to build more chemical plants. Let's actually outclick 10 of them for now in Chubu. Have to say, I am pretty impressed with how well these rebels are actually hanging in there. Granted, I did switch over my production method and I'm using irregulars now since I'm not going to attack anyone for the foreseeable future. But that apparently is more than enough to crush a few rebel scumbags here. There you go. That's it, right? We got one more battle? Okay, one more. I'm also paying absolutely minimum military wages at the same time, so it's all good. We only lost, what, 1,000 units, 600 dead, and demoralized 30,000, which might seem like a lot, but look at this face. Is this the face of somebody who gives a schnapps? No, it's not. All right, we won. Now we just gotta wait until they give up, which is gonna be in a few weeks, I guess, from now. Interventionalism has also been unlocked. That is amazing. Plus 50% private construction allocation is pretty decent, and getting rid of those malices from traditionalism is a big deal. Hey, on the bright side, the state that decided to secede has zero turmoil because we got rid of the turbulent people, if you know what I'm saying. Oh my god, I can have 17 and 25 logging camps here. Hot damn, that's my first priority of building. Right at the same time, right next to the sugar plantations, clearly. Ooh, per capita taxation. Considering our whole, you know, isolationist path that we're taking here, this legislation is going to make a huge difference, boys. And also, we got to ramp up our construction production because we have very few construction sectors right now. 52 is almost nothing. We should be having 10 times more by this point. I'll be honest, I didn't really play this extremely efficiently, not as efficiently as I should have played this run. But I did have a lot of fun, honestly. Like, the main point of this particular run for me was to just have a huge amount of fun. And that's exactly what I've been having. Sure, going isolationist is not as efficient as going, you know, free trade. But it has its ups and downs. And I have a strong suspicion that in a world conquest, going isolationist, once you start getting a lot of infamy, it's kind of the meta, considering how things are going in my run. And it's time for the big famous war against the Macron, spoken of in all of Japan's history books, of course. It's the time when Japan got that province right next to Persia for strategic future oil reasons, because otherwise we would have to attack a crazy nation like the US to get oil, right? Because there's definitely options, right? So we're taking the less suicidal one, let's say. Hey, Macron, I heard you need some freedom in these lands, and who else to give you freedom except isolationist totalitarian Japan? I mean, It's synonymous with freedom in my land. Now, boys, I wasn't actually planning to attack the rest of Siam, but the people wanted to be with their families. They wanted to unite, so we're wiping out what's left of Siam, so we can unite families. That's why, basically. And also, from the looks of it, it's gonna be an easy war. We're gonna push really fast into all of these irregular units that they have around us, or just line infantry or whatever the schnaps they might have around us, right? Interesting to see 5 different fronts. That is for sure a very new thing. I don't think I've seen 5 different fronts in a while in my Vicky 3 games. Come on, boys, make it fast. We need to be home for dinner by 7 p.m. and, you know, in the process, build a schnaps ton of stuff in these new provinces so we can have that dinner afterwards, clearly. Ah, it's all Japan, boys. It is all Japan. I also want to mention that my standard of living is actually not that bad, even though it says 11 over here. The reality is that it's only like that because I have certain goods that I cannot really... I've maxed out the amount that I can build of those particular goods, such as wood over here, wine. I need to get more provinces to build wheat farms in, since I've maxed this out, and that's where my wine is coming from, right? And I cannot import it, so yeah, isolationist does come with its toll. But that being said, people are definitely very, very happy in my lands, and that standard of living might be a little bit misleading, I guess, at times. Wait, so we're actually 7th in the world when it comes to population, above the United States and right below Austria-Hungary. That is very, very surprising, considering we only got like how many? 5 million? Yeah, around 5 million people from conquering lands. That means we went to 55 million of our own Japanese people in just the first 80 years of the campaign, 70 years of the campaign. We've been doing a lot of pee-pee time, I guess you could call it, right? Things are actually starting to ramp up here. Look at the amount of production we're doing, and we're 5th in the world overall, which is quite impressive considering we are basically just Japan, Siam, a few provinces in Persia, a few in Africa, and a little bit in South America. So I'd say we're doing pretty good. I would love to do this up till 1936 if you guys want to. If we get 5,000 likes in this video, let's say. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out this awesome Germany video up next. And I want to give a massive thank you to all of my patrons, channel members, and Twitch subscribers. I would not be able to do this without all your support.